So we have been asked to graph the solution set, and notice it says to shade the unwanted region. Not the wanted region, the unwanted region. So we're going to look at this first of all. It says x is less than minus 3. We find minus 3 on the x-axis. That's where our line is going to go. And it's going to be a dotted line because it's just less than. So we're going to just draw a line coming straight down through minus 3. And we want to make that a little, we want to, okay, didn't get it right. There we go. So I want to change this to a dotted line. Now it's dotted. And I also want to increase the size of it so we can see it a little better. So this is going to be a dotted line coming down. Okay. All right. Do I want? Yeah, I want to bring this over just a little bit more. Okay. So this line will represent x is less than minus 3. Now, it's the arrow is pointing to the left. So that means the region we want is to the left. The unwanted region will be to the right. Okay? Now, we have to focus on this second line here. 6x minus 5y is greater than or equal to 15. So now we'll get a solid line because of the equal sign. So what we do is we check for, what we want to do is we want to use 0 in both of these positions. If we put 0 in the x position, that's going to be minus 5y is greater than or equal to 15. And I made a mistake because anytime, no, I didn't make a mistake. When we get here, we remember that we have to change all the signs. So the minus becomes positive, greater than or equal to becomes less than or equal to, and the positive 15 becomes negative 15. So I thought I'd made a mistake. So now we can divide by 5. So y is less than or equal to minus 3, which means that if x is 0, y is going to be minus 3. And so this is this point right here, 0 minus 3. So we need, that's our first point. So after using x equal to 0, we go to y is equal to 0. So when we put the 0 where the y is, 6x will be greater than or equal to 15. Dividing both sides by 6, we'll get 2.5. So that means x will be 2.5, y will be 0. This is the point we want right here. So now that we have that point, we can bring in a line. I'll just take the same line here and copy it. And okay, let's bring this, okay, first of all, I need to make this a solid line. Because of that. And I'm going to bring this in. And this line has to pass through those 2 points. All right, why is this not? Come on. There we go. It's... All right, so basically now that's going to pass through that point here like so. And okay, we good to go. Now, the only thing left for you to do is to do the shading. Now, what's going to actually happen is when you shade everything to the right, and let me show you what happens when we do that. When you shade everything to the right, that's going to really include everything. Now, what actually happened was, where's my, oh, I want to fill, that's what I want. I want to use a lighter color. But anyway, when this is shaded, can I send that to the back? Yes. So notice when I shade this side, it shades both of these regions. Now, I think the copy that was sent to me doesn't show the bottom region. So what's going to happen is you have to decide if you want which region you want for this line, above or below. So this is where we do that test we did with both zeros. We put 0 in x and y because that's where the origin is going to be. And when we do that, it says x is greater than or equal to 15. So that means this is saying that this region here is false. So what's actually going to happen is, I mean, you already shaded both regions, so you can't be penalized anyways, but to know which section you need to shade. So what's going to happen is, if this line was extended, and let me just extend it a little bit. So when this passes through here, all of this region too, and I bring this down a bit as well. So everything to the right here, let me bring in another, I actually can just bring this down a bit. So this, all of this will, everything above, this portion here, and this section here will be unwanted. But this portion here will also, will be unwanted for the dotted line, but not this line. So what's going to happen is, this side here, because you're shading everything above this line, will also be shaded. And I think I will probably need to just go over to Microsoft Paint to help us understand this a little bit better. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this box here. And so I'm going to just go over to Microsoft Paint to show a little better what's going on. And it's Paint right here. So I'm going to hit new, don't save that. And that, put that there. Okay. So when I crop this, Paint should be allow me to fill in. So the unwanted region would be, oh, okay, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, I see what happened. It's going to be difficult for me to shade because this is dotted. All right, so let me use the paintbrush. That should help me. So I need all of this portion here shaded, because this is above the line. So that means I actually need everything above the line. And that's because of this line here. But let me change color. But I need everything on this side of the dotted line. I didn't change color, but anyways, practically all of your graph will be shaded except for this little corner down here. And that's pretty much what it would look like. It looks ugly right now, but I'm sure you'll take your time and do the correct stuff on your paper.